Hello, Royal Sussex Squad. It's your host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode that's going to have you feeling all the Sussex pride and none of the tabloid nonsense. So, grab your favourite drink, maybe some tea, maybe even a glass of Meghan's fancy jam-inspired spritzer if you're feeling extra, and settle in, because we're going to unpack all the drama, the triumphs, and of course, the haters who can't help but trip over themselves when Harry and Meghan shine. So today's deep dive is all about Meghan's As Ever brand, the one that had everyone talking, from the fans who cleared the shelves in record time, to the trolls who tried and failed to twist it into something it wasn't. Let's break it all down, because there's a lot more going on here than just jars of jam. When Meghan launched As Ever, it was like an earthquake in the lifestyle and luxury market. People who know quality when they see it snatched up those products instantly. They didn't even blink. Why? Because Meghan has built a reputation for authenticity, elegance, and a real sense of purpose. This wasn't some slapdash celebrity brand. This was Meghan's vision brought to life. And that's something people were willing to line up for. Now you'd think that kind of instant sellout would be enough for most brands to start printing money, but not Meghan. She took a pause. A real pause, to make sure she wasn't just putting out products for the sake of it. She was making sure that everything was done right. She was making sure that she could scale sustainably and honour her promise to the fans who believed in her from the start. And what did the haters do? Oh, they did what they always do, twist the narrative. They saw Meghan taking a step back to ensure the integrity of her brand, and they tried to spin it as a flop. They wrote headlines dripping with snark like, "Meghan puts lifestyle brand on hold after a month," as if it was some kind of failure. Let me ask you this. Since when did taking a responsible strategic pause become a sign of failure? That's not how real business works, and Meghan knows it. These haters are so used to mediocrity that they can't even recognize excellence when it's right in front of them. They'd rather cling to tired narratives and cheap headlines because that's the only currency they have. And let's be honest, this is the same media that spent years trying to tear Meghan down for everything from how she drank her tea to how she held her baby. They're so predictable, it's almost funny. You can practically set your watch by their negativity. But here's the thing. They're not the audience Meghan is working for. She's working for the people who appreciate what she brings to the table. She's working for the people who see her for who she is, a woman of substance, a creative force, and a mother who's fiercely protective of her family and her legacy. So when Meghan said in her COAFF podcast with Tina Knowles, yes, Tina Knowles, as in Beyoncé's mama and an icon in her own right, that she wanted to pause and get everything stable, she wasn't apologizing for success. She was saying, "I respect my vision enough to get it right." That's leadership. That's what real business owners do. And speaking of that COAFF podcast, can we just take a minute to appreciate the way Meghan handled herself in that conversation? She was poised, she was thoughtful, and she wasn't giving an inch to the trolls who want to tear her down. She said exactly what needed to be said without giving them any more ammunition. That's how you stay in control of your own story. Now, let's talk about the fans. Because while the critics were out here clutching their pearls and spinning fairy tales of doom, Meghan's real fans, the ones who matter, were patient. We knew this wasn't the end. We knew Meghan had something else up her sleeve. And sure enough, she delivered. The As Ever Instagram post that dropped just hours after the latest COAFF episode was pure perfection. The caption was simple. "To all who've been wondering and waiting, thank you. Your favourites are returning, plus a few new things we can't wait to show you. Coming this month, get excited." Boom! No long explanations, no excuses, just a promise and a little hint of excitement. And isn't that exactly what Meghan does best? She knows how to keep people engaged, how to keep them guessing. That's what makes her a master of her craft. But let's not stop there, because this isn't just about jam and lifestyle products. This is about what Meghan represents in a world that's so quick to tear down women who dare to do things differently. Meghan is showing us all that it's okay to take a pause when you need to. It's okay to protect your peace and your process. You don't owe anyone constant updates when you're busy creating something meaningful. And let's be real. While Meghan was taking that pause, what were the haters doing? Sitting around writing their clickbait stories. trying to drag her name for a few more views. It's so transparent. Meanwhile, Meghan was building something real, something that's going to last far longer than any headline. And let's not forget how this ties back to the bigger picture of Meghan and Harry's journey, because this isn't just about As Ever, it's about their entire approach to life since stepping away from the constraints of the royal family. Meghan and Harry walked away from a system that wanted to use them as props, not people. They said, "We're going to do things our way." And they've been doing just that, with grace and with purpose. It's the same spirit that launched Archwell, their foundation that's doing real work in the world, whether it's supporting mental health initiatives, helping communities heal, or shining a light on voices that need to be heard. Everything they do is about authenticity and real impact. And if that makes the haters uncomfortable, good, because real change always does. Let's also talk about the way Meghan's critics always underestimate her and always end up looking foolish. They've been trying to write her off since day one. They said she'd never be able to build a brand outside the monarchy. They said she'd never be able to navigate the cutthroat world of media and business, and every single time, Meghan has proven them wrong. Every single time. She launched a podcast that broke records. She's got best-selling books. She's got a global audience that hangs on her every word. And she's done it all on her own terms. That's power. That's why they're so obsessed with her. They see a woman who's unbothered by their negativity and it drives them wild. Let's talk about what's coming next, because you know Meghan's not stopping at jam. She's already hinted that there are new things coming. And if you've been paying attention, you know she's got plans that go way beyond the kitchen. She's building a brand that's about mindful luxury, products that are not just beautiful but also meaningful. Things that speak to her values and her vision for the world, and you can bet Harry's right there supporting her every step of the way. I love how he always has her back. He sees her strength, her creativity, and he celebrates it. That's real love, and that's why they're such a force together. They're not just a couple, they're a partnership built on mutual respect and shared dreams. They're redefining what it means to be royal in the modern world, and the haters can't stand it. So as we wait for the As Ever restock, let's do what we always do. Let's lift up Meghan and Harry and drown out the noise with positivity. Let's flood the comment sections with love and support. Let's remind the world that we're not here for the cheap shots and tabloid drama. We're here for the real story, the one that's still being written by two people who refuse to be defined by anyone else. And if you're watching this and you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Royal Sussex Squad family, where we celebrate the real wins and shut down the nonsense. And hey, if you want to show a little extra love, hit that super thanks button and help keep this community thriving. Your support keeps us going and makes sure we can keep bringing you the truth, the tea, and the Sussex sparkle. So, let's end on this note. Harry and Meghan are out here living life on their own terms, and that's something worth celebrating. The As Ever restock isn't just about jam. It's about resilience, creativity, and the power of knowing your worth. It's about a woman who's always been told she can't, and who keeps showing the world that she can. And it's about a couple who've faced everything and still come out shining. So, let's get ready to raise a toast to Meghan's next chapter. Let's cheer for every jar of jam, every podcast episode, every beautiful thing she creates, because she's not just surviving, she's thriving, and that's what drives the haters wild. After a pause, Duchess Meghan's As Ever products will be back this month. In retrospect, I think one of the problems with the Duchess of Sussex's conversations about As Ever is that she was giving interviews just weeks after As Ever's product line sold out in under an hour. She was still reeling and figuring out what comes next. And instead of just saying, "We're figuring it out, check back later," Meghan made a series of cryptic statements where she suggested that she was hitting pause on As Ever's product line for the rest of the year. In her Fast Company interview, she seemed to indicate that she was taking a step back from resupplying As Ever's line, and that customers should expect something in early 2026. In her most recent COAFF podcast conversation with Tina Knowles, Meghan said her approach to the demand for a restocked product line was, "Just pause, that happened. Let's wait until we are completely stable and we have everything we need. I complained about it, so did other people. The Telegraph's headline was Meghan puts lifestyle brand on hold after a month, which I have to say is kind of a fair headline given Meghan's own words in the COAFF pod. Well, Meghan and her team could feel the growing sense of panic among Meghan's fans, and they heard the cries from people demanding a restock of monarchy-destroying jam. So, on Tuesday, just hours after the last COAFF podcast dropped, the A's Ever team posted the Instagram below with this message: "To all who've been wondering and waiting, thank you. Your favourites are returning, plus a few new things we can't wait to show you. Coming this month. Get excited." So, there you go. This has obviously been in the works for a while. It's just that Meghan loves being cryptic, even when it pisses off her biggest fans. Anyway, more jam? Maybe strawberry jam this time, blueberry spread. Whatever it is, I'm buying multiple jars. Thank you for being part of this journey with me, Royal Sussex Squad. You're the reason we can keep telling these stories, and together we're rewriting the narrative every single day. So until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and stay ready to celebrate the unstoppable force that is Meghan Markle. I'm Carl, and this has been your dose of realness on the Royal Sussex Squad. See you soon.